Good early morning, gardening friends. It's now Monday morning, bright and early, despite the time change. And wanted to show you a couple of things. Yesterday I noticed when I got up, the day after I finished shooting the last episode, that the bean plant I had in the yellow that I was saying was it was dirty and you couldn't really see it. Well, it just kind of cleaned up and jumped. And there it is. Let me zoom in and let you see. And that has to be by far the healthiest bean plant I think I've grown indoors. So I'm happy about that. And then there was one other development I noticed this morning when I went to go turn all the lights on and check if everything's watered. The bell peppers have finally popped, both of them. I'm not sure if they popped yesterday or the day before, or if they just popped through this morning. I kept looking in the box where these things, my little incubator set up. I kept looking in there and I wasn't seeing any sign of anything, but I decided to pull them out this morning just to make sure I got them watered correctly. And lo and behold, I've got little sprouts. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to give them a little water, put them back, finish turning everything on, make sure everything else is watered, and we're off and running for a brand new week. Good morning, gardening friends. It's now Tuesday morning, and I've got a couple of new developments. I think I mentioned yesterday that I finally got the sprouts in the bell peppers. Those were, what was the variety called? It was Blue Star Pepper. Finally got the sprouts in the incubator, and I let them go for another day just so they'd mature a little bit, and then I decided to pull them out rather than baking them in the incubator. It's one thing I'm kind of learning is excuse me, that if I leave them in there too long, they just get really leggy and they don't survive. So now that they've sprouted, I'm going to let them grow outside along with the other spares that I've got here, and then I'll have to figure out what to do with them all. But that's not the only development. I have a new development, one that I've been waiting for. It's tiny, but it's there. That's the microtom that I actually put in the pot instead of having as a backup. So that's the primary, and it's actually sprouted. So I'm happy with that. We'll watch it and we'll see it grow, and we'll enjoy some tomatoes somewhere down the road. Well, we got some breaking news. I just noticed right after I finished recording that and started watering, I got another little sprout there, and it should be a bean sprout if I'm not mistaken. So we're making progress here. Good morning, gardening friends. It's now Thursday, and I noticed last night that we've got a sprout here in, which one was this? That's the red robin. What do they call it? Yeah, the red robin tomato in an actual planter. So now I don't need my backups as much because I've actually got them sprouting in the actual pot. So I'm a happy camper on that, and we'll keep following. Good evening, gardening friends. It's now Sunday evening. This will be my last little bit before I put it all together and post another episode. And I kind of showed you some things that were going on during the week. Now let me try and give you a little bit more of a close-up and a blow-by-blow on what we have here. Starting on the right side, we've got the usual suspects. We've got the ivy over here, which hasn't done much. The tomato, which is the red robin, is starting to get a little bigger. It's got its true leaves on it. Here we've got, let's see, another Blue Star Pepper, which is getting a little bit bigger. We've got the debut tomato. Back here we should have a bean, which hasn't, actually maybe just starting to pop now, but it hasn't popped yet. I'm still really starting to wonder about the nasturtium that I planted, because that's not doing anything. And I don't know if it's in frame, but we got the red robin over here. Let me move over and show you more. So there's that red robin I was just mentioning. Behind it we've got Swiss chard, which is actually starting to look a little bit healthier despite the fact it looks so stringy. We've got this one here, which I thought was a bean, and now I'm starting to wonder because it's not, the leaves aren't developing in the usual way. Maybe it's just a mutant bean, I don't know. Over here should be more of the Swiss chard, but I don't see anything. Here we've got, let me turn that one, that's the debut tomato, and I'm hoping you can kind of see. So it's getting a little bit bigger. One thing that's been nice about some of these, and especially the stuff over towards this side, well, let me just show you that. What I was going to say is that you can maybe see it even on the video. The light here is that much better, and it seems like the plants that are under this light are doing that much better. And that's the LED light I picked up from IKEA, which is stronger than the compact fluorescent in the others. The same fixture, same type of bulb, but just not as strong. So the LED is doing really nicely. So here we've got the debut tomato. Over here we've got, this is a micro tom, which it's starting to develop and look much more like a tomato. And over here I've got another, although it may be hard to see, that's another blue star pepper. And I'm talking to people and trying to see who I can give it away to. Behind that I've got another bean plant, which is doing nicely. And over here should be, I believe, more nasturtium, but it just hasn't popped. And finally we've got one more tomato here. I believe that's the microtom. Yeah, that's a microtom, where the one I had over here was also a microtom. So you can see my backup plant, actually, sorry about that. The microtom, the last tomato I showed you before this one is the backup, but is doing better than the primary. And then we got another ivy back here, which is about the same. I'm going to look into that a little bit more and try and figure out if I'm doing things right with transplanting these ivy plants. They don't look like they're getting bigger, but then again, I'm not measuring them. Beyond that, the only other plant would be the tree, which I gave some water during the week because it was starting to run low, so I'm doing better on keeping track of that. I won't bother to pull it out. You've seen it enough times. It's not getting any taller. I actually measured, but then trees grow really slowly. That's pretty much it, the report for my little garden. So this is the Budget Gardener signing off, saying may your thumb, even if it's indoors, be green.